Take me higher and higher. Anything you require. Give me all of your glory. I am here in your mercy. I will never be worthy. I wanna sing. Give me all of your fire. Take me higher and higher. Anything you require. Give me all of your love. I am here in your mercy. I will never be worthy. Change in your name. I wanna change in your name. All right, we are back. Oh man, I'm so excited to get on here with you guys today. We're going to be able to break down a lot of different things. Sometimes I just come on here; these aren't planned. This is just me wanting to come share some value with you and teach you a couple things that I learned today when it came to as we're building out the ministry. And if you ever started a business for the first time, and you start posting and you start having people start to envision and they see the vision, then there's one thing I can tell you is that there's a lot of people that are going to say they are behind you, but when push comes to shove, there's going to be a lot of people that back down for that position as well. But that's okay. That's just the life we live. We love them through it. But this is what we're going to talk about today. I believe vision is a very important topic that if we don't talk about it, we don't have the vision that we need for what we're looking to do with whatever it might be in any aspect of your life. And when I sat down and I really looked at Limitless Faith Ministry and I stepped into seminary school and I was like, okay, Clint, how can we be of service to men to help them grow spiritually, physically, and mentally? And then how can we take everything that I have learned to be able to transfer it into a program where they have the resources, the accountability, and they're able to have events in Austin, and we have workouts and cold plunge and all these different things together. And I was like, how is it possible to do this? And what I want you to tell you today is that anything that you're going through that you feel like it's not possible, it is possible because we serve a really big God. And if it's aligned with the God-given vision that God has given you, I promise you that you can do it. Now, you're going to have some challenges. You're going to have some trials. You're going to have some tribulations. You're going to have some things that come up. You're going to have some fires that you need to put out, whatever it might be. But this is not supposed to be an easy road. That's another thing I want to tell you. When you get saved and you start to follow Jesus, it's not like your life gets easier. I would say actually your life gets a little bit harder. Because when you really start to follow through and follow Jesus, you're going to be unfollowed. I just want to tell you that now. And it's something that I started to realize, but then I also started to realize that God separates you to elevate you. A lot of the times we got all these voices around us. All these voices trying to tell us what to do and how we should do it. And we have people with no validation, and we have people that haven't reached a certain level to even tell you why they're telling you the things that they are. But today I want to speak to you guys about vision. And I did a video earlier about vision planning and execution, the VPE method. This vision is going to take you through the vision of Limitless Faith. I'm going to take you through the vision of exactly what we're looking to do as we start in Austin, Texas. And then as we go from Austin, maybe we'll go to Dallas and we'll go city to city. And that takes building a vision of a belief to transfer that belief to somebody else. To take the vision to have a proven concept to show that number one, it works, show that number one, it transforms. And number three, to show that it is spirit-led, and it's not just business-led. So with the vision of Limitless Faith, our whole goal is to empower individuals by teaching them how to grow in every area of their life through a heart of service. So true growth, whether it's spiritual, mental, or physical, comes when we learn to service others without expecting anything in return. When I started Limitless Coaching, this is the same exact thing that I did. I joined 3 different masterminds, and then I was just of service. All I did was say, hey, how can I help you in your nutrition, your hormones? How can I help you understand? How can we be confident in ourselves, confident in our body, take accountability, be consistent, and took tools and resources and just sent them over to people. And as you continue to provide value, as you continue to provide content, you continue to provide a personal experience, people will start to reach out to you. And then people will also be like, okay, this person's real. He's not just saying this. He actually lives the life. He sets the example. So Jesus exemplified the leadership, showing that the greatest among us are those who serve the most. So my question for you today is, who are you serving? Do you know who you're serving? Do you know who your ideal client is? Do you know exactly what the avatar is? Do you know psychographics? Do you know how to do messaging? Like, what does that look like for your type of industry? And I don't know what type of industry you're in, but I know that it works the same in all industries. Next thing is, when we set aside selfish ambitions and prioritize the well-being of others, we open ourselves to God's greater purpose and abundance in our life. Wow, look at that. When we set aside our selfish ambitions and we prioritize and we open ourselves to God's greater purpose of abundance in our life. There are going to be times where it's going to be tough. You're going to put somebody else forward before you. You're going to ask yourself, why, God? Why? I feel like I should be getting this. I should feel like, well, I've worked so hard. Put me on the stage, Lord. This is me. This is exactly what I felt. I felt I should be teaching this. But then I had to realize that, no, Clint, you need to learn the Bible. You need to step back, son. And you need to learn before I put you in a position to provision you. And when I learned that, okay, if I am being put in a position to learn, that means that I'm going to learn every day. I'm going to learn about spiritual, mental, physical, and I am going to be a lifelong learner. And that's what I'm going to tell you that you should do today. Learn every day, perpetually learning every single day. It'll completely change your life. Either listen to a podcast, open your Bible, look at scripture. There's going to be something that happens when you do that. Next, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain or conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves in Philippians 2:3. The most beautiful verse that talks about valuing others above yourself. And when you start to do this, when you really start to value others and ask them, how can I help you? How can I be of assistance? What relationship do you need? How can I be of service to you? I want nothing from you. All I want to do is be able to assist you. And if you don't need help, that's fine. I'm here when you're ready. That right there changed my life. Not what can I get from you, but how can I be of service to you? Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain or conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves in Philippians 2:3. One of my favorite verses. Now, The Go-Giver is a book that I recommend to anybody. If you never read that book, I promise you it will change your life. The Go-Giver is all about these key principles. And I really want to go over these key principles with you, because this, if you implement this in your life and you think about how can I follow these laws along with biblical principles, it will create the abundance in your life. And we're not talking about the financial abundance that comes. I'm talking about the peace and the understanding and knowing that you're doing good in the world and you're making a change, an impact. You're providing value. You're transforming lives. Like, that's what it's all about. I would much rather wake up with peace, knowing that I am doing of good for the Lord, than wake up with $1 million in my bank account, knowing that I did this in the wrong way, in vain or conceit. So principles of the Go-Givers. One of the key principles in Bob Burg's Go-Giver is the law of value. And this states, Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. So the question you need to ask yourself is, how much value are you actually giving? And that comes to your content. That comes to you servicing in your community. If you're a real estate agent, are you going out there and are you going to events? Are you going to conferences? Are you seeing what people need? Are you putting yourself out there? Because if you're not, you could be a great person with a great product and a great company, but if nobody knows you, then it doesn't matter. I was on with Omar Takari today for content, and he said, it's not who's best, it's who's best known. And that means you got to get on here and you got to make content. You got to speak in front of the camera, and you might mess up, and I might mess up my words, and that's okay. We're human. We mess up. That's the best thing about it. But at least you tried, and at least you came on here, and that one person who needs to hear the message today will listen to the message. We have 2 people in here right now, and I am so excited because that means 2 people are getting value from this call. It doesn't matter the number. I want you to always remember that. My mentor told me this. He said, if there's a plane and there's a plane flying and it crashes and there's 500 people versus if there's 5 people, that's still a lot of people. So it doesn't matter if there's 2 viewers. It doesn't matter if there's 1 person that shows up to your event, whatever it might be, pour into those people, provide the value, the impact, and just don't be informational, be transformational. Whoops, we got excited there. It will change your life. And it's changed mine. Next one. So the principle is the idea of serving with an open heart. When you focus on giving, adding value to others' lives without expectation of return, you open the door of the greater blessings, opportunities, and fulfillment. When is the last time you just gave without asking for something in return? I do a simple process every morning. And that process is I reach out to 5 people and I say, hey, if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. I'm here to serve you. I want nothing from you. Or I'll send a $5 or a $10 coffee. And I do that to 5 people every morning. And when you do that to 5 people every morning, if you do that over time, that's 25 people a week. That's 100 people a month. Could you imagine the relationships that you build by just serving with an open heart? You're not doing this trying to get anything from somebody. All you want to do is say, I'm here for you. If you need anything, I got you. And that could be a relationship that they need. That could be a phone call that they need for somebody that needs to, they're selling their house. They're buying a new house, a real estate agent, whatever it might be. As you build these relationships, nurture and give to these relationships. The worst thing you can ever do is be a taker. And it's so easy to tell if you're a taker. Be a giver. Next law of value. Your worth is determined by how much you give. That's the first one we spoke about. The law of compensation. The more people you serve, the more abundance you create. The more impact that you make, the more abundance, the more financial provision you will find. Because what did you do? You thought over the money aspect of things. I'm going to service you. And then from that service, you will get paid. But you have to learn to give without expecting anything in return. And that could be daily. That could be for a couple of weeks. That could be you're just consistently going on here and providing value, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. I promise you, there are people that do not know as much information as you do about what you do. I hopped on with somebody today, and he just launched his he's writing his 3rd book, and he has no idea about social media. So we went on there and we went and did an Instagram edit or audit. We did an Instagram audit. We did a Facebook audit. And I just did this out of the kindness of my heart because I care. Because I know this gentleman's from London. He was just on the podcast, and I know that he has no idea because he's 61 years old. And social media at that age, you just don't understand it. And I get it. So now it's on him to take the necessary action steps from the information that was received today and the tools and resources were given to him. So just think about that, how you can do that every day. Next one, the law of influence. Your influence is determined how abundantly you place others' interests first. Your influence. Tim Tebow was just at Ben Newman's event in Puerto Rico. If you guys don't know who Ben Newman is, he's one of the best performance coaches that I know. And I'm in his school group, and I love what he's doing. because he is a man of service and he cares. But what Tim Tebow said, it's not about success, it's about being significant. Like it's not about the success, it's about being a significant person in somebody's life. Law of authenticity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. I'm going to tell you guys right now, there is nobody like you in the world. This fingerprint right here, you're the only one that has this fingerprint in the whole entire world. Out of the 8.75 billion people in this world, you're the only person with this fingerprint. I think that is the most beautiful thing. Nobody thinks like you. Nobody acts like you. Nobody has your past. You have your own life, your own story, and how you tell that story, because stories sell and facts tell. The next one, law of receptivity. I think I said that wrong. The key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. And this is something, guys, that I am working on so much, because I am a giver, but it was hard for me to receive. Like, it was really hard for me to receive. I remember people were like, I always ask somebody how I can do something for them. But whenever they asked me, I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't even know. What do I need? I don't really know how to answer that. And I would go back to them, and I started to learn how to receive. Because how I see that is, if somebody is trying to give you something, is trying to help you in some sort of way, it's almost like a blessing coming from God. And then you're knocking down the blessing. You're kind of slapping God in the face. You say, no, I got this, God. Don't worry. I know you sent this person to me. And I know that this person was probably said somehow in some way to be able to help me in some capacity. But I'm going to do this on my own. And God will continue to bring those people into your life and say, hey, here you go. Here's some help. Here's some more help. It's on you if you want to take that help. So the thing I can tell you today is, if somebody is helping you in whatever aspect that is, if somebody wants to help you in some sort of way, if that's your business, your life, your relationship, your finances, whatever it might be, let the person help you. You will know if they have good intent or bad intent. You will know just by the person that you see, and you'll know you can see the person by their content, who they are, the habits they have in their life. Like, you can easily tell a person by just the way that they go upon social media. There's a lot of people that I see, I'm like, okay, yep, no, we don't align anymore. We're just going to unfollow. We're going to unfriend. And that's okay. As you continue to grow, you will grow out of some people. Like, as you continue to take your life to another level, when you take care of yourself, when you go to different levels, it requires new devils. And that's the one thing I had to learn. When I stepped into ministry, man, I had so many friends that were just like, yeah, Clint, I don't believe what you're doing. I said, man, that's great. I appreciate you and I respect you, but I'm going to keep going what God has given me and where God has positioned me. And I'm going to continue to spread the word of God. And I love you. And I wish you all the best. And I'm here for you when you're ready to make that decision that you do want to be friends. But if not, that's okay. I have learned that you are going to lose some friends, and ultimately God's going to bring other people in your life. He's going to open doors of opportunity, and he's going to close doors of opportunity. So how you live out these principles, and we're going to close off with this. You not only grow in yourself, but you help others flourish. It's through service and selflessness that you create lasting impact and true fulfillment. Now, the last thing I want to do, because we're going to do a little plug at the end. If you're a man who listened to this and you feel like you don't have purpose, maybe you're not growing in your spiritual side of your life, maybe your mental conditioning, your mindset is weak, and then maybe your physical side, maybe you just need to go to the gym, take care of yourself a little bit more, eat better. I want to invite you to join Limitless Faith. Our school group is completely for free. Limitless Faith Kingdom Builders is a completely different program that we can talk about moving forward. But Limitless Faith, you can come and you can have a bunch of different resources that we're putting in there. We have discipleship every Friday. We are able to now have events in Austin every Monday. If you're local or if you ever fly in, you can come every Monday. It's at 5 a.m. to 6:30. And then in Q1 of 2025, we're looking to host our first event and it's going to be amazing. I'm already working on some speakers now who are going to come, who are going to speak on different topics and things that I learned from them, where I had to have the humility to open my heart to say, you know what? I don't know everything, but I do know somebody who knows a lot more than I do. So guys, I hope that helped you in some sort of way. The Go-Giver is an amazing book. I would check it out. It's by Bob Burg. And then also when it comes to just putting out content, being able to help people, I want you to ask yourself this simple question today. And the question is, how are you serving others without asking for anything in return? And can you do that consistently over time, regardless of the outcome? And then once you answer that question, follow through, reach out to 5 people every day, say you want nothing from them. All you want to do is see them succeed in 2024. And then now we have 2025 coming up. So you got a new year. Remember, New Year's resolutions are going to come. You guys, we still have 3 months left in the year. We still have 3 months left. Could you imagine what you can do in 90 days? Like 90 days is a long time. 90 days, you could lose. I mean, when I was in fitness coaching, let's see, 3 months, 2 pounds per week, 8 pounds, you could lose 24 pounds easily. If you went to go for a walk, if you went and drank enough water, if you went and maybe you went to the gym once or twice, whatever it might be, like you don't have to do what I do. Because I see a lot of people that watch my content and they're probably like, this guy's absolutely insane. He's up at 3, he's at the gym by 4:30, he's doing content all day. Guys, I got the time. I'm in seminary school and I serve all day long. I'm reading, I'm learning. When you don't see me doing something, I'm learning, guys. The world is changing. And if you're not taking time to learn, if you're not taking the time to read, you're going to be left behind. So appreciate you guys. God bless you. Have an amazing day. And